So I think it will be very safe to say that slowing down was never a part of the training. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to welcome Brigadier Dilip Ganeshan Patwardhan, a decorated Army veteran, paratrooper, engineer, strategic leader, and a proud sapper. Over an incredible 33-year career, Sir has served in some of the toughest terrains in the country, from the Black Cat Commandos to Kashmir, Ladakh, Rajasthan, Assam, and the Line of Control. And on a personal note, introducing Sir today feels even more special because I myself am married to a sapper officer. So I know that sappers don't retire, they simply find new missions. Sir's recent podcast on the Iran USA conflict and changing geopolitical realities has created a lot of interest across strategic circles, and we are truly privileged to hear from him today. Sir, welcome to Leaders Speak, and we are truly honored to have you with us this morning.
Thank you
So,
very much,
sir,
ma'am. Thanks a lot.
sir, let's begin from the very start. What was Brigadier Patwardhan like as a child? Over to you, sir.
At the outset, ma'am, Anita, ma'am, thank you very much for a very lavish introduction. And right at the beginning, I want to give few disclaimers. First of all, I'm feeling extremely honored to be on this platform. My sincere thanks to Isar Bhai. Secondly, just in the series of lectures, the second lecture is after the Super Cop legendary Madhukar Jhende. It's a big pressure on my shoulders because I'm not at all anything compared to him. Nonetheless, you have made it look big by giving a very lavish introduction. So thank you very much for that. I would try and not disappoint the audience today. Coming to and third disclaimer, the views expressed by me on this forum are my personal views. By no means they reflect or represent the views of the government or the army or even any association of the veterans. It's my personal views. Coming to a question, as a child, what I was, I think I am still a child because only children keep jumping here and there, and that's what I did a few months back. So yes, it was always outdoors for me. Studies came as part of life, but not as the mainstay. And I was very much into playing outdoor games. And fortunately, I was brought up in a place called Nagpur for first 11 years of my life, where we used to stay in a government colony, and just next to the government colony was a huge jungle. And you can imagine about 45 years back, we had total freedom and we enjoyed our childhood playing games in on the streets in open air uh, in the raw waters and jungles. So that made one hardy. And when I moved to Mumbai, I could feel that I was a little different than other classmates, and I continued being different. And that I kept on pursuing all the outdoor activities, side by side studies also, of course. And then after 12th, I always had a dream of joining the National Defense Academy. Somehow it didn't work out after 12th, but God was kind enough to give me fairly good marks in my HSC. So got into a fairly good college in Mumbai called Victoria Jubilee Technical Institute. Now it is called Veer Mata Jizabai Technical Institute. Completed my engineering from there. Uh, got selected in the campus interview in the last semester. Worked for a very renowned construction company, especially so after the opening of missing link or the connecting link. That name is very prominently known to everybody. It's called AFCONS. So I got into AFCONS, worked with AFCONS for a year, but this passion of joining the forces continued. So while working with AFCONS, I took this option of joining as a graduate trainee engineer. Luckily got selected and joined the Indian Military Academy as a graduate trainee engineer, and thereafter the army journey started. I hope it's not very disappointing. At the same time, not as thrilling as what the Genders had.
Truly inspiring, sir. Absolutely. So, the next question I want to ask you is what inspired you to join the illustrious Indian Army, sir?
Yeah, first and foremost, I always had liking for the outdoor activities and always wanted to do something which would give scope to the kind of energies which I had, I understood. Um, and I thought that army was the best career because I could make the best of my abilities. At the same time, seeing the army right from childhood, wherever we could get a chance. I am from a pure civilian background, place like Mumbai, where you don't really get to see army other than the movies. But yeah, of course, that time the 4G serial was on, and Shah Rukh Khan, as he is, could cast a very lasting impression on everybody's mind in our generation. And a liking for a little disciplined way of life, liking for physical activities, liking for uh, doing something different uh, were some of the reasons. And one of our classmates, who was a very close friend, he joined the National Defense Academy after 11. So that gave us some more motivation to be in the same line.
That's very interesting, sir. So the next question that I want to ask you is that sir, you have had an illustrious service across 33 years. The question that I would like to ask you is, which challenge tested you the most, both personally and professionally, sir?
Well, army career throughout is challenging, whether you are in peace station or field station. Professionally, challenging tenures are always when you are in the field station because you have to lead your men, you have to command your men and perform tasks in much adverse weather conditions, much adverse environment, the socio-economic conditions, much adverse, what should I say, the terrain conditions. So field tenures are all very challenging. Uh, Personally, on personal front, whenever you are away from your family and some important events are happening in your family where your presence is mandated, but somehow you are not able to make it. So those times become little challenging and testing for you. Uh, Talking about particular incidents, I can count on one incident which distinctly I remember when the Operation Parakram was going on in 2001. Rakesh would understand what I'm saying better because he was also part of the same thing. After the Parliament attack on 13th of December 2001, we all remember Indian government ordered general mobilization on 18th of December, and we were almost on the brink of war. Now, the first thing that happens whenever the army mobilizes, especially for the Corps of Engineers, as I belong to Corps of Engineers, the mine laying activity starts. Mining activity doesn't start normally unless the nation is serious about going in for war. So for us, the orders came down for the mine laying, and we started mining activities in the Rajasthan sector. While doing so, on one particular day, I remember 30th of December 2001, at the time of sunset, one of the mines developed a snag, and the Jawan who was carrying that mine, he just left that mine on the ground and moved out of the minefield, thinking that it would blast. And it was a very critical time. We could not afford to leave that mine in open because it would have given away the surprise of the minefield. So we had to take a decision and somehow camouflage that mine and ensure the secrecy and the confidentiality of that particular minefield. As a company commander, I had to do that because I couldn't ask anybody to do that hazardous task. Knowing fully well, had I asked for a volunteer, the whole company would have raised their hand. But I did not take that option. I decided to do it myself along with the company Havaldar Major. And I still remember each and every second which I spent around that mine because just few days before this happened, there was an accident in the same sector with the same mine, and there were few casualties. So that was one event which I still remember distinctly. Otherwise, every field tenure, be it Jammu Kashmir, be it Assam, be it Mizoram, was always challenging.
Absolutely, sir, and I can completely resonate with your thoughts. So, I would also request if you could also share an experience or an anecdote when it comes to your personal life, in terms of the challenges that you must have faced, because life in the army, they say, is very tough, not only for the officer but the families also. So, an experience for our audiences that you would like to share.
Yeah, I can share that on a very personal note. Uh, in my first tenure with the regiment, we were in a place called Anantnag. And I was the only officer in the company. My wife was on family way, and my first son was to born. So the date was given. So when the commanding officer came to the location, I just mentioned to him that, sir, on such and such date is the day given for my wife's delivery, and uh, if possible, I would like to go on leave. I knew it was not very much possible because I was the only officer in the company. So commanding officer just looked at me and said, "What are you going to do?" She is with her parents, right? I said, "Yeah." He said, "You are not going to hold her hand anyway." I said, "Yes, that's right, sir." He said, "Just chill. You have done whatever bit you could. Now just relax." It sounds quite hilarious. It might sound very not so good to many people who think too much about their personal rights and privileges, especially in today's world. But he said the company needs you more. I said, yeah, that's right, sir. So I continued serving with the company. Uh, After about 15 days, I got a radio telephony call from the headquarters, and the adjutant sitting there was reading a telegram which had come for me but landed in the headquarters. It would have come to me after a week, but he read it to me. And one of the officers from my location was going down to Anantnag town. So I gave him the telephone number of my in-laws and told, "Ki sir, ek baar check karna, my wife's delivery date is due. So just check whether everything is all right." So he went down. There was one tuta futa, half-burnt telephone exchange building in Anantnag. That time the situation was pretty bad. And there was one Kashmiri Pandit who used to operate the STD calls from there. So उसको बड़ा request करके उसने call मिला के दे दिया. And then I got a call from this officer, a very frantic call saying that please roll down from the Anantnag high ground and there's something urgent. Please come down. I got scared because I knew what he was talking. So I said, sir, क्या हुआ बताओ? कहता नहीं कुछ नहीं. You just roll down from there. Whichever force you have, just come down. So I went down to Anantnag telephone exchange. From there, the individual connected me to my in-laws, and my wife was on the line from the other side. So I said, क्या हुआ? What happened? When I said क्या हुआ, I wanted to know what is the situation. She said बेटा हुआ. So that was the time when actually wrong पे खड़ा होना जो होता है, I realized. So she said बेटा हुआ. मैंने कहा what do you mean? She said 10 दिन पहले ही बेटा हुआ और उसकी आवाज सुनो. So luckily that guy was cranky and crying. So I could hear him on the phone, and उस समय wrong पे खड़े होना क्या होता है, I realized. So I got to know about birth of my son after 10 days when he was born, because the telegram came pretty late. And thereafter, I spoke to the commanding officer next time he came, and I told him, sir, I've been blessed with a son and I would like to go. He said, now the battle is over, abhi tu jaake kya karega? So I continued staying again for another 1 month. And first time I saw my son when he was about 40 days young. So these are certain things which remain in your memory. And fortunately, the same son is now in the Indian Army. He's a major. So I'm sure he would carry this.
That's such an inspiring story, sir, and I'm sure he was trained well ahead in time. And of course, nation first always for an army officer. Um, so, sir, the next question that I would like to ask you is about, again, something to do with your life in the army. So, when you look back, sir, at your remarkable journey, which achievements or moments give you the deepest sense of pride and gratitude?
Uh, in the army, it's always the collective achievements that gives you extreme sense of gratitude and happiness and pride. Somebody getting a commendation card or maybe a Sena medal or a decoration for himself. More than that, the unit getting a unit citation for that particular tenure, it gives more happiness. My parent regiment, 112 Engineer Regiment, was part of the Operation Vijay, that is 1999 Kargil conflict. Though, of course, I was not there in the unit at that particular moment, but I joined the unit later. The unit got unit's Army Chief Unit Citation for extraordinary work during Kargil Ops. So I think that was one of the happiest moment in my career I can look back. And then when I was commanding the other unit, 107 Engineer Regiment, at the end of my command tenure, 107 Engineer Regiment was bestowed with the Army Commander's Unit Citation. So those were two very happy and proud moments, I think I can count on. Did I answer your question, ma'am? I think your mic
I
is
think
not
you're
on.
answering everybody's question, and we all have this aspiration to ask questions, but because we are following a particular format, so we might ask questions later on, but just want to come in between and say you're answering a fantastic way. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely,
Thank you so
sir.
much. Thank you so much.
I think we all have a lot of questions. I can see it on your faces, but we'll have to hold on for a while before we finish these set of questions. And so, what I feel is that you're truly speaking from your heart, and it's so heartening to hear you speak about your experiences and inspiring all of us. The
Thank you,
next
ma'am.
question that I would like to ask you is you once yourself have said, sir, which I was reading, that a strong team performs well like a designated concrete mix. Now, this intrigued me a lot. So, my question is, what does that mean to you, sir, when you talk about, team works well like a concrete mix? So, your thoughts on that,
Uh,
sir?
Yeah, before
yeah.
before before you answer, sir, and thanks, Anita, for asking that question. In your chat boxes, I have sent you the same thing which was published by us and has been written on email. So you may want to check it out. Or what is Anita's question also? Thanks and sorry.
Yeah. To answer your question, ma'am, that concrete mix metaphor or the analogy.
Yes, sir.
I'm a civil engineer by qualification, and I can say by profession also. So of course, I relate everything to whatever experiences I have. In civil engineering, most important thing is designing of the correct concrete mix for construction of any infrastructure, any building for that matter. You have to design the concrete mix. Now, what is the concrete mix? Concrete, we all know, it's common knowledge. It comprises of uh, coarse aggregate, what we call khadi or gitti. Then we have fine aggregate that is called sand. We have cement, we have water, and we have few admixtures to add certain qualities. I look at it, there's a very good example of how a team builds and acquires strength. So that is what I meant that well-designed concrete mix is a perfect analogy for a team. If you allow me to elaborate, uh,
Absolutely, sir.
if you see the dynamics of how the concrete acquires its strength right from the initial stages of mixing, as these four components are there, the big angular aggregates, the rounded off aggregates, the sand, the cement, the water, the slurry, everything gets mixed. Everything is different in its own character. Everything is different in its own composition. But whenever they get mixed in the appropriate proportion and they gel well, they take some time to set in. But once they set in, the kind of strength that they collectively produce can withstand multi-storied hundreds and maybe uh, uh, tons and tons of load it can withstand. So a typical team, if you analyze, we have higher level leadership, which can be compared to the bigger aggregates or the angular aggregates that we have. We have the middle level management can be considered as the smaller aggregates, which actually now when you see the bigger aggregates, as they are angular and sharp, when they come together, there are certain voids between them. So who fills up these voids? These voids are filled up by the smaller aggregates or the rounded aggregates, which can be compared with the mid-level management or the executives. Then you have cement, which is the main binder, which is an extremely fine powder, but that also doesn't acquire any strength unless it is mixed with water, which is further finer and further fills up the balance of the void. The main voids are filled up by the smaller aggregates, then by the cement, then by the water, then by the slurry. And then to improve the overall performance of this concrete, there are few admixtures which are added, which enhance a particular quality for which it is being constructed, whether it is underwater construction, whether it is overhead construction, whether it is construction in the extreme cold climate, whether it's a construction in extreme hot climate, depending on where do you intend setting that, you add admixtures. So first it starts with the correct selection of the correct material, right from the top management to the junior most members working in that organization. Then having those people in the correct proportion, the selection of the right material. Any of these materials failing in its individual capacity can actually retard the strength of the concrete or can fail the concrete. So every material has to be excellent quality in its own. Then they should be in the right proportion. They should be mixed appropriately so that all the voids are filled. Then the next stage is the setting
Can
time.
I just
Once
come in,
the,
sir? I think
yeah,
you have sent me a PPT also. Do you want to run the PPT? It will be a
yeah,
very
I
nice
would,
visual view for everybody,
thank you.
so that
I'll
everybody can
just,
capture that thoughts also. And I and Anita had an earlier discussion just in the morning. On that count, you have sent it to both of us. You can run it for us.
is it visible on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is something what I was trying to explain. Is my cursor visible on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are the cores aggregate, which are angular, very sharp, very strong. The main strength is from them. So they can be compared with the senior leadership. These are the fine aggregate which fill the void between these coarse aggregates. This is the cement, which is the binding factor between the fine and the coarse aggregates. This is the water which makes the workability and the overall mix, and these are the admixtures. So this is exactly what I was saying. And bringing them together in the right proportion with the right process, and you get something that can hold even a skyscraper and something stronger than the sum total of all the elements put together. So that is exactly I want to highlight. And if you see the process, it brings in front the basic tenets of team building. That is the strength of each member has to be optimized. That's exactly what happens in the concrete mix. They should be complementary to each other. Uh, we should be able to identify the elements which can fill up the voids between the other elements. And like a concrete mix, the elements of different gradations are essential for a solid monolith. This particular point number 5, the bigger gravel need to be angular, whereas smaller gravel to be smooth edged. It has got a particular meaning. When I'm to say, everybody in the team need not be compliant or need not be extremely obedient or need not be always aligning with the ideas at the ideation stage. They should have their sharp angles, they should have their sharp edges, meaning the original ideas, which they can always voice and give a new direction. However, that sharp edgedness can be affordable or is affordable only at the higher level of leadership. When it comes to the lower, middle level or the lower level, that's sharp edgedness is not going to work. So you need the smaller gravel to be smooth edged, who are compliant and ready to fill up the voids between the angular higher elements. Then you need water and slurry also to make this whole mix as a monolith. All elements have to gel together for some time. If you see the concrete technology, after initial mixing and setting in, concrete takes minimum 24 hours, then 72 hours, then 7 days, then 28 days to reach the final strength what it is designed for. Till that time, it is always in the state of flux. So they need time to then a lot of heat is generated when the mix is gaining strength. That should be applicable to all the teams. When the team is formed and they're working on some idea, a lot of heat is generated through discussion, through difference of opinions, through many other things. But the generation of heat has to be appreciated and understood and should be taken as a natural process. Without that, uh, the gelling of team would not happen. And this concrete, when the heat is being generated, when the concrete is gaining strength within, a lot of external curing is required. The external curing means you must have seen the construction sites where hasten cloth is placed on the freshly poured concrete and they keep pouring water till it gets the strength. So this external curing is required for the generation, the heat that is generated to subside that heat and to convert that heat into strength, you need external curing. Now, in a typical team building scenario, this can be compared with the mentoring or the outside training that can be given to this team when the team is gaining strength. So this is a typical example of the concrete mix design. If you further try and make it more uh, appropriate or more relevant to the corporate lens, so every member's strength must be identified and fully optimized, and nobody to be left idle. So that is something can be called as talent mapping. The members must be complementary and not clones. This is where the punchline is. You necessarily need to have team members who are not clones of each other. You don't need people who are extremely sharp, having the similar IQ, having the same level of understanding. You need people who are complementary to each other, having different abilities, maybe less or more, but have different flares. So they should work for a unified purpose and will complementary to each other. Then we should identify the voids and they should be filled. We should identify the elements which can fill the voids of the bigger elements. The gradation is essential. Diverse roles need to understand. The role diversity is very important. This is what I have already elaborated. The senior leaders must be bold and angular, where the juniors need to be smooth, agile, adaptable, and compliant. Connective elements, empathy, communication, and trust within the team. All elements must gel together. Cohesion is earned not instantly, but every team to achieve that cohesion, you need to give it time to set. You can't expect to form a team today and start performing tomorrow. Team building is a very deliberate process. You need to invest a lot of time. Uh, Other things I have just explained to you. Point number 9, significant heat is generated when the strength is being gained. So conflict is a sign of growth. That is exactly what I want to say. It should not be taken as a negative fallout. It will be there. It has to be there. If it is not there, then probably something is wrong. And external curing essential. As I said, you have to give coaching to your teams. You have to do counseling. You have to have counselors coming from outside. You have to have outside observers and experts to watch your team and come up with the solutions to smoothen all the conflicts, whatever they are there. And the output is a structure that beats, that bears loads and ready to face any challenges. So this is exactly what I wanted to say when I compared team building with a concrete mix design. I'll stop sharing this video, say this presentation. Yeah, you're back to the camera now. Ma'am, you're muted.
Thank you, sir.
I
And
think
I think the concrete mix analogy was so powerful, sir, and I could not actually understand when I read it, but now you made it so clear. And I think a strong reminder to all of us is that just the right mix of cement, sand, water, and steel creates lasting strength. And that's exactly how teams are built on trust, balance, and shared purpose. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing this wonderful analogy with all of us. Isar, sir, you wanted to add something over to you, sir?
Yeah, I think this is excellent. There is in team building, there are so many team building formulas. We have a huge number of trainers that I have, and myself, I run team building initiatives. And what you mentioned on the ninth point, I think, let me just check it out, was just it was about productive conflict. Am I right? It was the
Yeah,
ninth
that's
point.
right.
Yeah,
The
so
heat generated.
that's what is also says positive confrontation. There is a book, The Five Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. And when I was running a team building initiative for Afghans, by the way, I did not know that you are from Afghans. That's my client. And I told them,
Agreed.
no, till the time you do not have positive confrontation, or you don't ask or demand an answer, a team will never be built up. So the Patrick Lencioni model talks about similar things, but the analogy is brilliant. I mean, I think this is worthwhile. And being an engineer, I can understand. My father was a civil engineer, by the way.
That's
And
great.
tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of the building that I'm stationed in right now. 50
Wow.
years, and it was designed by my father while in service, and he was there at the Bobby G Group and Center.
That's
So
great.
everything is very coming back. So actually, without any plan, by the way, tomorrow is 17, 50 years. And that says, a brilliant, whether it's a mix
Yeah, the mixed
for a
design was good.
building. Yeah, the design was good, and a fantastic team uh, is one which has been properly thought about. And you also mentioned something, this is for all of us, because I'm just trying to draw parallel between what you have said and the corporate world is, you also mentioned that people should um, continue with their originality. There's no need to tame every time. You just need to use people on their strengths. That
That's
was a
it.
critical element. You can't, Muhammad Ali said, the boxer, greatest of all time. He said, I want to dance on there. So float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He used to dance on the floor. So it's any fight, I'm going to dance. That's the way I'll fight. So if people are there to dance and create an impact, let them do that. Only thing that you need to do is manage. And Don King managed him. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir, for those valuable inputs. And now I think I see a lot of curious faces. I see a lot of questions that are in your minds. Now we open the forum to all of you. So I would request all of you to please raise your hands and ask your question to Brigadier Dilip. So I see Karan Rakesh curious, and his hand is already raised. So over to you, Karan Rakesh. Please ask your question.
Yeah, so
Firstly,
it's
I
an
think
open forum now. It's an open forum because people will have questions and they will
Absolutely,
seek
sir.
answers, and then we can, uh, you know, correlate it to the corporate world. Over to you, sir.
yeah, I think I am the most privileged one who has seen Patu sir from '93 until date, and I've seen his profile. He's been very modest when he was talking about himself. He's an excellent trooper, was an excellent officer who has done tremendously well in his professional life and a personal life. Professional is one thing, he's become a brigadier. I don't, I have to talk on that. But as far the person front is concerned, because when he was commanding the Bombay Stepper for the all my civilian guests, it's one of the verticals of the Corps of Engineers. As the commandant, he ensured a lot of welfare measures has been done. So that speaks very high about his personal trait. Profession is one side, he's a para jumper, he's commanded a battalion which is approximately 1200 troops in a CI atmosphere. That's a different story. But as a person, he's done a lot of things. As the commandant, he used all his power. He went beyond his power to ensure welfare for the ex-servicemen. Because there's one chapter of Bombay Saper at Chandigarh. I am very purview to him with all his initiative. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. It was a privilege for me to be part of your journey in some or the other. And one thing I want to highlight what sir said, team building takes time. I think that was the most, I think, important, I think, takeover from his, conversation and his address. Team building takes time. Most of us are in a hurry to. It doesn't happen that way. Team building is a continuous process. When he would have become a CEO, possibly at the age after serving 18 to 20 years, he would have built up his team over over 3 10 years, 4 10 years. Then it was easy for him to command in a operations which requires a lot of dynamism. Thank you, sir. Again, wishing you all the very best. And no question, sir. It's been a wonderful journey to be part of your professional and personal journey. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Karan.
much, Rakesh. Thank you, Rakesh. The journey was very comfortable because of good friends like you around, and I'm really honored.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Karan Rakesh. Jayanti, I see you've raised your hand. Please go ahead and ask your question.
I
So
think we
before
have just 1 second. We have a moderator over here moderating behind, and that's Rupali. So anybody who has a question can just raise their hands on the system, and she will then tell us who is the next person. Over to you, Janita.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to introduce my General Manager Production, Sivakumar Subramanian from Michelin Tires. So I have a privilege to introduce him. He is my coach in Michelin factory. So I would like to introduce Sivakumar, and he is also a financial consultant for all of us. He guided us for many of the reasons, and I would like to introduce him. Sivakumar, you can introduce yourself so to the team. He's the first time attending SSR for with our teams.
Oh, great.
You can.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning to all of you. So very nice to meet this.
You can come on
highly,
video, Sivakumar, if you are okay.
Okay, maybe next time I will try to do that.
Okay.
I am not prepared to come on the online. Yeah, sorry for that.
Thank you so much, sir.
I'm really happy to be part of this team. I think we are all, because we are coming from the industry background, we work with teams on day-to-day basis, and there are a lot of, I would say it's like what Sarah said about the mining. No? So we do take a lot of mines which is supposed to blast. So without making a big danger to the teams, we have to work with the different teams and get the goals achieved. So I have just one question to you, sir, because what we feel in the teams, no, the main constraint for each manager is to fill the voids, because we have to find the differences of each one of us as a team member, and then how to fill the voids. So that's a big constraint for the managing the teams. So do you have any tips for us to see how to identify the voids first and then to fill the gaps? Thanks for this team to make me part of this team.
Pleasure, sir. It's very humbling to see somebody of your stature being on this show and asking questions. Well, you yourself are an accomplished leader. And as you rightly said, at that level, it's very difficult to identify the voids. And once you identify the voids, to fill them. The first and foremost, my take on this is it's very, very important to identify the voids first, because there are many teams which stay in this illusion that their team is very homogeneous and their team is very compact. They don't realize and don't appreciate that there are voids existing. And that's why they don't take actions to fill those voids. And that's why when that particular monolith comes under pressure, it will crumble because there would be voids in the system and not know. So first and foremost, it's very important to know and understand what the voids are. Once you know what the voids are, only then you will take appropriate action to fill up that void with the right material of the right size and of the right density. I might be sounding technical, but the crux, what I feel, is to identify the void and to identify the right material to fit that void. In your sector, as you deal with finance and many other challenges, well, I'm not qualified enough to comment on what should be done to fill the voids of your particular organization. But my take is you should identify the voids first and then identify the material to fill that.
Yeah. Do you? I just want to come in over here. I think that also means that the weaknesses, if you do a SWOT analysis on the team, identify also the challenges or the weaknesses of the team members, because those get highlighted very strongly in a team building environment. I think that's also something that you're saying that can be done. Yeah. So if I know that there are some strengths, you play on strengths in a team building when you build a team of a person. But the weaknesses, the shortcomings become so overpowering that they actually diminish the team that's made up. That is also one of the thoughts. Probably that's what you're saying.
If I may further elaborate, in the entire concrete mix, I used the word called admixtures, and I said they are used to give that strength to that particular condition. So these are the admixtures that you must identify, which are external agents that would help you get over the weaknesses of your intrinsic elements.
Absolutely.
But Mr. Shivkumar, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you for
so
the
much.
clarification.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
sir.
just want to set up the flow, because as you see, Brigadier Patwardhan, what's happening is the corporates will ask questions in terms of what, and there's a correlation, a direct correlation because wherever there are people, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be the common objective, the common purpose, the vision, the mission, the values that we need to follow, which all, as an engineer, I can understand a brother engineer, myself also being from the same time in Father Agdal, we actually grew up at the same time. Technically,
Absolutely.
the same time we passed out. We must have rubbed shoulders during events in your college or my college. But that's the technical part of it. When we correlate it to the corporate, that's going to be. So I think there's a huge list of people who have raised hands. Anita, I'm sorry to just
Yes, sir.
intervene, but
Yes,
I
sir.
Yes.
think over to the Rupali who can draw out
So
the people.
I will, I will
Yeah, we
take,
are
I will
getting.
take,
The expectation is this only, that it's a leadership forum. We learn
absolutely.
from a leader. Yeah,
So,
that's it.
sir, I do
Sorry.
have Gitika ma'am. Ma'am, good morning and welcome. She's been my coach, my mentor, my guide, my best friend. I think the list is endless. Welcome,
What
ma'am.
are
Good
you
morning.
saying? Great to see her for the first time.
Absolutely, sir. And ma'am is the COO of the Little Millennium Group, ma'am. It's an honor and privilege to have you with us this morning. And I would request you to please unmute yourself and kindly ask your question, ma'am.
Thanks, Anita, and thanks, Isar. It was a great opportunity, and very good morning, Brigadier Dilip. I think it was a beautiful analogy that you gave, and it kind of triggered many thoughts. So I won't take, I think I can see many hands up, and I know the paucity of time. So just wanted to ask, I was very curious to know what is that water? What would represent water in team building? Because we are in the process, like, because we are dealing with schools and teams. So every time there's a new school that is set up, team building becomes a challenge. And even internally in the corporates, when you are putting people together and everybody has a different strength and different challenge. So I have a thought, but I wanted to know your the thing, and I wanted to just tally whether I am thinking on the same lines.
Yeah, excellent question, ma'am. Now, water is one component here, one element here, which has got multiple applications or multiple utilization. First
Hmm.
and foremost, it fills up the micro voids, if I may say so. Whatever is left behind after the fine aggregate and cement, still there
Mhm.
would be voids which will be filled in by water, firstly.
Mhm.
Secondly, water is essential for the cement to acquire strength, because
Hmm.
cement without water will just be a powder. It's
Mhm.
only when it is mixed with water that it gives its strength. And third important property what water gives is it gives the workability of that particular mix. Water, very less water would make that mix very hard and non-workable. It would not be flow through the formwork which has been placed for that particular shape to be cast. So water gives the fluidity or the workability to
Hmm.
that particular mix. So if you compare, if you take a parallel, what
Hmm.
could be compared to water in a team? Well, I think it is uh, the the higher direction or the highest direction
Okay.
that comes to the team and
Mhm.
the ideation that happens. That could be compared to the water, because firstly, it is
Okay.
essential for the cement to acquire its strength.
Mhm.
Secondly, it is essential for the workability of that complete mix. And thirdly, it is also essential to fill the micro voids. So I hope
Yeah,
I
I
answered your
think, yeah.
question.
So I feel probably you're talking about the vision and the direction, vision, mission. Plus, do you think culture? Because I am dealing with
Yeah.
this, I feel that culture, which is set up in the team, is like water, which anyways fits people together, and it kind of
The
sets the right
corporate culture,
direction.
corporate
The
culture and
corporate
values.
Yeah, you
culture
can,
and the team
absolutely.
culture.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
can say that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so probably I think the culture plays a huge
Yes.
role
Yes.
in aligning the team. So yeah,
In
so I
fact,
just wanted to, yeah.
yeah, in fact, there are few tenets of uh, team building, which
Hmm.
I would like to touch upon later. When you talk about the culture,
Hmm.
I can always mention the way how it can be built and how we practice it in the army. So that is also
Hmm.
one part which I
Oh,
have thought that
great.
I would cover as part of my PBT.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much.
Geetika, I just want to come in over here and tell you, Brigadier Dilip, that I and Geetika are friends from, I just mentioned it was casual. I and Geetika are friends from millions of years, and we started
Yes.
working in the valley
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
with
Sadbhavna project.
Sadbhavna
Sadbhavna
project with
project.
General Jarkin Gamlin. And we have
Wow.
traveled, and she is herself a Fauji's wife
Right.
and a daughter.
Yeah.
So
Great, ma'am.
Yeah.
So,
that's
so, so
Fauji
good
blood
No,
to
an
over
see.
here.
engineer's daughter. My
Engineers,
dad,
all engineers.
he's
Yeah.
a civil engineer's daughter. Yeah.
Wow,
Me
that's
too,
great.
me too, me too. We are all here. That so I
Yeah.
think
So
Geetika, sorry, please go ahead.
I need to be much more careful because there are
Careful.
ex-Fauji,
Yeah.
ex-civil engineers. I can't be poodle faking here.
And one
No,
more
no, but
thing, Geetika, I just want to come in. When you ask a question, since now I'm more inclined to the corporate, I thought water was the money. I mean, I was thinking of money till the time money is not given, the hygiene part of it, and it's real.
Yeah.
People are not expecting a lot of money. People are expecting
Uh,
basic hygiene,
absolutely.
yeah.
corporate
Yes.
culture and all. And if we can, you
Yes.
give them the hygiene, that's will
Hmm.
keep them satisfied, to work.
Absolutely.
Something that can give them the urge to come back and motivation to come back.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much, Anita. Such a pleasure to be part of this. I think I couldn't have, I got a little delayed, so I missed the initial. I hope they would be recording for this.
Absolutely, ma'am. There is
Yes.
recording.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for
Thank you
being
so
a part of
much. Well,
morning with
pleasure.
us, ma'am. So now I would
Next
request
question, Param. Sorry to interrupt.
Paramjeet is the next question.
Yeah,
Param,
yeah,
go ahead.
they have raised the
Right,
question.
thanks. Thank you, Dilip sir. No words. Actually, I was there since the call began and was listening to you. You almost answered all the questions I think which anyone had in mind. And this, let me admit or openly give a feedback also. You actually raised the bar. We just you started with that up. You have to meet the expectation. You're actually raising the bar for the next sessions, right? So it has been wonderful listening to you. Good examples, and for us at corporates, I think this concrete mix is something which resonates what we do, and we have been talking about culture. We're talking about team, and this is what corporations and organizations are all about. Yeah. These are my takeaways. Of course, no questions around it. My question is a bit different. मैं जब स्कूल में था मुझे फौजी बनना था. Okay, being a Sardar, I always thought Sardars are meant to be Fauji's. Though my father was not a Fauji, I tried, I couldn't succeed. Yeah, so there has been one regret in my life that I was never part of Fauj. And now when I'm geared out by a lot of Faujis, it makes it और थोड़ा सा मुझे दुख हो रहा है कि मैं क्यों नहीं गया. But one question here which I think makes you different from the others is your mindset. You just gave an example of your personal life about about your child, and you saw him only after 45 days. Corporate life में अगर 5 मिनट भी डिले होता है ना कि भाई मेरे घर जाना है, there is someone बीमार, हम छुट्टी नहीं है, there is some urgent work, तो hue and cry करते हैं. We don't even think about office, organization, priorities, and we are just we're just skewed towards one side. This makes us very sometimes it is very difficult to even think itna kyun. And on one side you are there 45 days without even knowing what has happened at your personal life. Kya khate hain? Absolutely.
Okay, to
Question is
answer
to you, क्या खाते हैं आप?
Okay.
No,
Param,
sir,
to-
it's different.
I-
It's
Yeah,
It's
different.
very real. I think, Param, I
So,
completely resonate.
it's
The
a-
question when he said that about that particular thing, I was zapped. Yeah, please tell me, sir. Please tell us.
that gives me, thank you very much, Param sir. That gives me an opportunity to again share one PPT slide, and I would come to that answer pinpointed as to how may this happen. If you permit, can I share?
Yeah, sure. Certainly. And for others, Param, you can do a quick little introduction about yourself till the PPT comes in.
Sure, sir.
So hello everyone. I'm Paramjeet Nagpal. I head HR for a company named Vago India, basically a German multinational, and I'm based out of Baroda. Thank you, Sabai.
Can everybody see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
okay, so Param sir, just to try to answer what you have just asked as to कि क्या खाते हैं, you know, during the training of our men, as I was the commandant of a training center for the Bombay Sappers, and in all the training centers, wherever the recruitment training takes place, as also in in a way during the officer training also, we build the character of a soldier on these two founding principles that we what we call as Bunyadi Usul. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
You are
Yes, sir.
clear,
It-
very
You.
clearly audible. Yeah, please, please.
yeah. So there are two Bunyadi Usul. The first Usul, what we always keep saying and reciting is नाम नमक और निशान यही है हमारी पहचान. That is the first बुनियादी उसूल. And the second बुनियादी उसूल is ईमानदारी, वफादारी और इज्जत यही है हमारी ताकत. So these two बुनियादी usuls are imbibed, inculcated, practiced, and in some regiments, like when I was the commandant of the center, every morning after the PT parade is over, the senior most Havaldar Major would blow the whistle, everybody would come in Savdan. And before saying Bharat Mata ki jai and Bombay Sappers ki jai, they will say these two बुनियादी उसूल नाम नमक और निशान यही हमारी पहचान और ईमानदारी वफादारी और इज्जत यही है हमारी ताकत. Now if you permit, I'll just elaborate. The first principle is basically giving you the concept of shared identity. So when you are part of a team, you identify yourself as the team member and team as your own. So for नाम, हम किसके लिए काम करना है, नाम के लिए. नाम किसका? हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का. It could be your company, it could be your regiment, it could be your Indian Army, it could be your corporate house, it could be your vertical in your corporate house. उसके नाम के लिए काम करना है. नमक brings in the basic loyalty, loyalty towards the organization, loyalty towards the paymaster. And Nishan, that is the shared purpose, the 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 symbol of that particular organization. For us, in the larger sense, it is the tricolor of the Tiranga. So these three things are inculcated in every team member, be it an army team, be it a corporate team, be it a sports team, it could be a cricket team, football team, whichever team, wherever there is a team, that shared identity has to be inculcated and imbibed. That gives all these committed loyalties towards the team. And maybe that is the thing which makes you gloss over certain personal comforts and personal entitlements ahead of the team's interest. So far, so good. Param sir, did I answer your first question?
Absolutely, sir. I think this is more about, again, culture you built as an organization.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the
Thanks.
second foundation, second Bunyadi Usul is these shared values. How do you perform? First was for what do you perform, and second is how do you perform. किस तरह से आप काम करते हो, ईमानदारी के साथ, वफादारी के साथ और इज्जत के लिए. If these three things are understood while performing any task, I don't think that any of the team members would have any different interest in mind other than the team success. And it has been proved right, luckily for us, whenever we got a chance to shape up our teams and command them.
Wow, what
Thank
an
Very
answer. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thanks.
thanks. So
Question.
for just wanted to come in over here. For all those people, there is a learning card. This particular everything has been shared in the chat group. Take a printout of it on a hard card, and then you can keep it in your pocket. It's a pocket card basically. For all our leader speak events, we are going to have pocket cards. Everything that the leader is wanting to say is captured. So it's a reference material. You can use it. You can give it to your team members, whatever it is. But this is the learning forum over here. Yeah, for your leaders in your own right, and leaders create leaders. That's the objective of this entire event. So when you go back to your teams, you can give those cards back to people, so they'll have a clear understanding. Sorry, go.
So next we have Dr. Meenakshi Arya. She also happens to be my elder sister. and very proud to tell you all that she has recently joined NVIDIA as principal instructor and senior certification specialist. So over to you, Dr. Aya. Please ask your question.
Meenakshi,
Uh,
you introduce yourself. Your sister is introducing you. That's the wrong thing.
right.
Let her introduce.
Uh,
Leaders
Thank you.
create scenarios for others to.
Right. Thank you so much, Isar, and thank you, Anita, for giving me this opportunity. On a Saturday, I generally never take calls because it's very busy throughout. But when I read the profile of the speaker, thank you so much, Brigadier Dilip. I loved how you spoke about concrete mix and being a computer engineer, having had my PhD in computer engineering. I always respect civil engineers because they get their hands real dirty, as you call it. I loved your take on saying that the strength of a structure is entirely on getting the proportions right and where the mix has to hold under immense pressure. Well, I sit on the other side of the fence as a veteran spouse, someone who I feel has been the invisible aggregate in that mix, holding the structure together while my soldier was at the front. And as an NVIDIAN, I have been working on AI since 2009. And I know that today AI is a technology that one day designs better mixes for defense, for infra, for human systems. So my question to you is a little bit of intersection of being a veteran spouse and a technologist. In the concrete mix of a soldier's life, like yourself and service, what is the ingredient that is often most underestimated? And what does it take for that mix to not just survive pressure, but also become stronger because of it? Like, what is that you've never, those vulnerabilities that you would have had, which you've never expressed to the world? That as a 4G, these are our vulnerabilities. And this is where we kind of, are softer and we need more hardening here.
Brigadier
Well,
Dilip, another Fauji wife, just for the record.
yeah. Yeah, I should be very careful. First of all, for a civil engineer to answer the question of a computer graduate that to a PhD, I think I have to really brush up and scratch my gray cells to work. Coming to your question, ma'am, I feel that I would not say underestimated, but that invisible element in a Fauji's life, which actually gives the strength, is nothing else but the spouse, as you yourself are, and as Anita is. Uh, it's not visible in front as a Fauji's life, because in front always the Fauji is seen. In front only his actions are seen, his sacrifices are seen, his hardships are seen and acknowledged. But at the background, the lady wife who stands behind him as a strong support, she actually provides that strength to him. It's not visible, but she is the one who's providing all the strength. Now, when I say that I saw my son when he was 40 days young, people say, "Oh wow, you have suffered so much silently." But who would have suffered more than me? You all know, you are the ladies. You know that the child is born and the dad has not been able to get leave to even see the child. So the most affected is not the father, the mother, and but that goes unnoticed without any complaints. She is taking it, and she is playing her role to give the strength to the man in front. So this is that invisible, but not underestimated or unsung. I mean, that is my take on it. I hope I could answer a computer graduate's question.
No, thank you so much, Brigadier Dilip.
Thanks. Superb questions coming down and absolutely brilliant answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jayanti, you can begin. We are next, right?
Good morning, everyone. Once again. So I have few questions related to Naam Namak Nishan, the loyalty. So in today's world, if you see people, people are running behind money, and as Isar sir told, the hygiene. So in the culture, so it is not only related to money, but it is related to many things. What we create and hygiene among them. So, as a managers and leaders in the companies, like we are expecting loyalty from people, but we are not able to see exactly what is available and what we are getting from people. So, what do you suggest for managers or leaders to take it into account to to build upon this one? Maybe the confidence for managers to come up. So how do they build upon?
Ma'am, good question. Thing is, as rightly said, it is not only the money that people are working for, they are working for much beyond that and much more than that. That is the brand name or the name of the organization with which they are associated. They want a good name to be attached with. And luckily, now for the managers of our generation, we are lucky that now we will be getting the I would not say subordinates, but the middle level managers or the middle level employees who are luckily of the generation which is actually not running after money. Because thanks to our generation, we have left so much for them. They don't have to worry for the houses, they don't have to worry for the cars, they don't have to worry for the lifestyle. They already got it. The Gen Z, if you think of those who are born after 97, they already have everything. When your son or your son must be having two houses already, one in Mumbai, one in Pune, so they don't have to worry. They are not working for money, but they are working for the name. And how this identity of the name can be given is, firstly, the the commitment and the genuinity of the organization to work with. They want to see the organization's name in the society being taken with a lot of respect. They would not like to associate with a company which is not having a good name, which is defaulting on the parameters of being environment friendly, on the parameters of being nationalist, on the parameters of being human friendly or nature friendly. So they very much go by this. Firstly, we should have our parameters set and the goals set very clear as an organization. Secondly, as senior leaders, they are expecting us to walk the talk. That genuineness of the senior leader to walk the talk is what is going to win him or win her over and give his or her 100% without even you demanding it. When they say the senior leaders are actually selfless, they care for the team, they have compassion, they are not pushing the team for furtherance of their personal ambition, but they are pushing the team for getting the goal achieved by the team as a whole. When the team looks good, every member of the team looks good. Only the team leader, but some leaders unfortunately take it as that you know he or she should look good. The team will look good only if the leader looks good. It is the other way around. So the younger generation or the middle level managers, what we are dealing with today, they would completely give their 100% loyalties if they see firstly the purpose of the organization aligned to the overall uh, hygiene and overall of, the basic goodness what is expected out of them, and secondly the leaders of that organization walking the talk and having compassion and sincerity towards their team and the subordinates. Could I answer your question, ma'am?
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. I have one more question. It's related to the curing time, what you explained in terms of team creation, team bonding creation. So normally now we have the habit of judging people before they complete their accomplishment. We don't give time to people and we urge them, like, no, we tell them, no, this has to happen like this, and we will say that if that is not happening, we say that no, you are not good. So, like, that patience, like I can see, in your personal examples, like, you holded your hand and, you were waiting for, no. So it is your commitment there. So like that, no, for our generation also, no, the message is very clear that you need to have patience and you should not judge people and you should hold on them and you should support them in terms of their achievements, and also don't judge people and make a faith on them, and that curing time what you told now after the concrete is completed. So we are saying that 45 days, that 45 days is a great time for them to spend and analyze and understand. So it's a great message, sir, what I have received. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
So let's limit our questions
Yes.
and we can have our love letters in the end because we have 20 minutes to go and about 10 hands up. So
Right, sir.
we will have in the end a group. There are photographs being clicked by Rupali in the background, but we'll have one good photo frame and a lot of appreciation in the end, please. Thanks.
So over to you, Prachi. Please ask your question. And I would request you to ask one question because we have like
Great.
sirs, a lot of hands raised. So over to
Yes,
you.
I just have one question. Hello, everyone. My name is Prachi Tupe. I'm a 17-year-old who just finished her 12th. I'm actually here because my aunt gave me this link. Rupali is actually my aunt. And I actually have one question that is sir, you mentioned the importance of team building. And soon I will join the corporate culture as well. And I have a question. While team building, we are often encouraged to work with people who are not your friends to get that experience, right? You have to work with different people all the time. But if I I'll give you a personal example. I was working as a part of my practicals for HSC. I had to make a presentation for psychology, and I was working with people who were not my friends. And the thing is, I was the only one doing the work while these people did not put any effort and were asking me to give credit to them. So, how do you deal with such kind of people going ahead? Because teachers in school colleges will give you the option of working as a team or do the practical work individually, but once I grow up I will not have that option of, I will do this individually. I will have to work with the people. So how do you deal with such kind of people
Very
is my
interesting.
question.
First of all, very heartening to see a 17-year young, I would not say old, 17-year young participant on this forum. Prachi, thanks for posing this question. What I would say, to deal with difficult people, uh, first of all, you must accept this, and I'm happy that you did, that whenever you are moving out and working as a team, or even if you are working as an individual, you would bump into people, you would come across people who are not so kind to you, who are not as per your expectations, who are not friendly to you, who may be selfish at times, trying to snatch your credit, trying to put impediments in your progress. So this is the fact of life. And it's very heartening to see that at the tender age of 17, you have understood this. I mean, many of us understood it much later in life, or some of us have not even understood. But good that you have understood that. So to deal with this, you have to have, firstly, I personally feel you have to have a lot of confidence in your own abilities. Uh, Not arrogance, but confidence. You have to have a lot of confidence in your own abilities, so much so that you should be convinced that even if you do not get wholehearted support from your team members or your co-workers, you would still achieve what you're supposed to. Secondly, you should also have a lot of patience to wait for the day when you win them over by your genuinity, your own qualities, and your indispensability as a leader to them. So, but that needs a lot of patience, that needs a lot of heartburns, sacrifices. These are few things that you have to consider and be very aware of. And most important is nothing succeeds like success. So if you achieve success, you have to identify mid-course goals, short-term goals, which will prove your mettle to your team. You need not achieve the end, you need not go and touch the end line immediately. You have to achieve, if you see a marathon run, it's 42 kilometers long, and you don't need to be at the 42nd kilometer to prove your worth. At every kilometer, when people see you crossing those milestones, they would acknowledge your worth, they would acknowledge your capabilities, and on their own, they would not on the first kilometer, maybe after 10 kilometers, but they would come by your side, and that's how you can win the day. Could I answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
Prachi, and thank you, Brigadier Dilip. I think this is a message for all the youngsters who are, rearing to get in the corporate world. And like you correctly said, Prachi, in schools and colleges, you work in silos. But the moment you get in the corporate world, you are supposed to be a part of a team. And of course, confidence and patience. I think these are two virtues that we must inculcate. Thank you, sir. And can we have the next question? Rupali?
Yeah,
All the best,
that's
Prachi.
it.
Thank you, sir.
Isar sir. Isar sir.
Yeah, yes.
Yes,
There are
sir,
two
Deputy
people,
Commander.
Kundan and Jai. I think Rachit first and then Kundan. Will that be fine?
Yes,
No,
sir.
my question is already covered by Param sir. Actually, I just want to say that I would like to welcome Deputy Commander Kuldeep Singh. He is with us. So I just Kuldeep sir.
Wow.
Kuldeep sir.
He's on mute.
Oh,
Please sir, unmute sir and introduce to yourself sir. People would like to hear you.
Kuldeep ji,
Kuldeep
do
sir.
you have network in ASC Raiwala? You're joining it from Raiwala, if I'm not wrong. Okay.
Kuldeep sir, I think
Now,
there
I
might be
think
some.
as soon as he joins in, we will.
He's
We'll go
already
ahead.
joined, sir. He's in
I know, I
mute.
can see that. So we'll take the question first. I think let's focus on the questioning.
Yes,
Okay.
Rachit, please go ahead and answer.
Okay, Rachit.
Sir, first of all, it's my privilege. Thank you very much, Isar sir and Dilip sir. It's my privilege to be part of this session. And my question is regarding the leadership that has been explained by Dilip sir. I mean, sometimes people start enjoying being a means to provide water. Sometimes they start enjoying means to provide concrete. How do you define or how do you realize when to change the role and what it takes to, take this transition?
Well, if I understand your question correctly, you are asking as to you, as part of a team, you may have to keep changing your roles at times, and how do you handle that change? Is that the question? Yeah.
Right, sir.
So as we all grow in age and service, we would keep changing our roles in the team, and it ought to be that way because we would not be performing the same role over the years. So the transition, if it is over a period of longer duration, the transition is much smoother. But if it is a sudden or a very short period of time, we may have to adapt ourselves to that. We may have to prepare ourselves for that. One thing is very sure that whichever transition or whichever role switch you have to do, as an individual, you very much know, you very much appreciate as to what next role you are likely to play or you are expected to play. So we are always, to be fair, we are aspiring also for that role. That as of now, I'm playing a role of this particular level, but I would aspire to play the higher role. So we should be preparing ourselves professionally and knowledge-wise to fit into that role. We should study the role being played by the other individual as of now from that capacity. And we should do a little role play at our level. And we should be mentally prepared to take a switch anytime. But at the same time, we should also be aware the additional responsibilities and the additional extra work that we may have to put to play that role. Preparation is basically enhancing your knowledge base, upskilling yourself, upgrading your decision-making capabilities. And as you switch the role, I take it when you talk about switching the role, it is from going from a lower echelon to the higher echelon, lower rung to higher rung. So obviously, the domain that you are going to influence from that particular pedestal, that also you should consider that who all would be influenced by your newly acquired position. And other than your own domain, you should start studying the other domains which you are not privy to till now in your present capacity from the lower step. Once you go a step higher, you would be influencing a little more circle. So you should start identifying those domains and understanding the requirement of those domains so that whenever you have to upscale or upgrade yourself to the next role, you are not found wanting at that.
Thank you very much, sir, for the insight.
Brilliant answer,
Pleasure.
Brigadier Dilip. And I think also resonate with Deepika
Sorry.
ma'am's that we all should be lifelong learners. I think if the learning continues, then switching roles can become very, very easy. Rupali, can we?
Rachit, just a second, Anita.
Introduction.
Rachit, would you be kind enough to introduce yourself to everybody and also Brigadier Dilip?
Hi, my name is Rachit Jain. I'm project manager for Novi Met Automation, and I've been in the industry for last 18 years. I've traveled almost 40+ countries, and I've been continuing this journey.
Great. All the best to
Thank
you.
you, Rajat, for joining us.
That must be more than the cumulative sum of the entire travel that we have done. 45 countries, my God. The question would not be where you have gone. The question would be where you have not gone.
Nahi gaye. That's
Rachit, great.
Thank
Even
you so
we
much.
also introduce him in another meetings, like he traveled more than 40 countries.
Wow.
So Rachit is one of I have had a meeting with Rachit once, and I personally felt he's one of the authorities in the space of automation in the country.
That's
And
great.
when I say authority, the future of automation rests on people like Rachit and Rupali over here. I think he comes from a very, very prolific background. That's why I thought he should introduce himself, because we should know other leaders who have come in, because he is leading a brilliant level of technocrats. I mean, I met 3 of his team members and I was zapped by the intellect the guys had, the highest level of intellect in the market. Thanks, Rachit.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
Over to you, Anita. Over to you.
I would also request each one of you to please introduce yourself before you ask your question, so that we all know about your professional backgrounds. So, Rupali, who do we have
Vallabh,
next?
Vallabh.
Vallabh, please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Rachit.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Sir, thank you so much for that giving your valuable time, and definitely take us through the excellent chronology of your life, sir. And we inspired a lot. So since I'm an HR, sir, I have one question, sir. So generally, I think motivation is something which is an essential element in the soldier. So how you motivate the people know that they're ready to sacrifice this life in HR, that in our training sessions we generally motivate people, but next day they will become whatever they are. So what are those essential elements that you share, that what are those learning, or what are those you can say the lifestyle or whatever you taught during their initial training, so their lifetime they are ready to sacrifice their life for the nation, sir?
Well, I think that's a brilliant question. So, Brigadier Dilip, I'm very keen to hear your answer on that. So, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vallabh, for posing this question. I can bring to forth the essence of soldiering. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
The first and foremost is anybody who has decided to be in uniform. In our country, it's a purely voluntary force. So it is his or her own decision. And if somebody has taken a decision voluntarily, definitely he or she has that particular feeling in him or her to do something beyond the personal comfort, personal achievements, or personal safety. So that thing is there, that thing is existing there. So that basic motivation is there. That's why that person is there in the armed forces. Now, even after having that, uh, few years back, there used to be a very catchy tagline when Indian Army used to reach out to people for joining. And the tagline was, do you have it in you? That was the question, that was the challenge that used to be thrown. Do you have it in you? So those who are in the armed forces already have it in them. That is the first thing.
Okay.
Secondly, how you keep this flame burning. If you would have seen my previous slide where I have talked about 2 Bunyadi Usul. So
Yes, sir.
they are given the purpose, the identity, the purpose, the pride for which he or she continues working. So it is the naam for in the Fauji context, the naam is naam of the regiment. Regiment के नाम के लिए फौजी कुछ भी करता है, right? Then the namak, of course, हमारे देश का नमक हम खा रहे हैं, तो उसका कर्ज अदा करना है. वो तो सिर्फ फौजी की जिम्मेवारी नहीं, वो तो हर एक की जिम्मेवारी है, 140 करोड़ आबादी जो भी है. और तीसरा है निशान। निशान भी हर लेवल पे अलग हो सकता है। एक कंपनी के फ्लैग से लेके, रेजिमेंट के फ्लैग से लेके, ग्रुप के फ्लैग से लेके, फॉर्मेशन से फ्लैग से लेके तिरंगे तक हर एक निशान है। और हर कोई निशान के लिए जब काम करता है, जब उसको पता है कि मैं निशान के लिए कर रहा हूँ, तो फिर उसको और ज्यादा मोटिवेशन की जरूरत नहीं है। जब उसको पता है कि उसका निशान, उसके देश का निशान उसके वजह से ऊपर जा सकता है या उसके वजह से गलती से नीचे भी आ सकता है, जब ये इतनी जिम्मेवारी उसके सर पे है, वो अपने आप ही 100% से भी ज्यादा अपना योगदान देगा। So this is how that flame is kept burning in the फौजी, क्योंकि वो पहले से वहां पे है। वो फ्लेम बर्निंग रखने के लिए उसमें पहले वीक होना चाहिए जो उसमें है।
Okay, sir.
Did I answer your
Yeah,
question?
yes, absolutely, sir. Thank you. And I definitely know the takeaway is Naam, Namak and Nishan, sir. It will remain throughout our life, sir. These are the learning for today's session. So thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vallabh and sir. Beautifully answered. I think that was such a lovely answer. Rupali, who do we have next?
I guess everyone has completed their question. I have last question if no
Sure.
one is asking. So,
Yes, please.
sir, sometimes we need to keep people happy in corporate life because retention is one of the major concern right now. People are asking for money. Maybe they need good work-life balance. They need to keep their wife happy, kids happy. They need to spend more time. And sometimes when it comes to responsibility, they make some of the reason like XYZ reasons. So as a responsible person in the corporate, we also maintain happy plus get the work done as well at the same times. How we can avoid this emotional block? Like I want to keep him happy as well as the main objective of the organization should also get fulfilled.
It's a very tightrope balance every leader has to do. Every leader has to strike. And as every individual is working for, first of all, his or her happiness, and that happiness could be self-satisfaction, that happiness could be material satisfaction in terms of money and privileges and perks and luxuries. But one thing is sure, that you can't uh, keep, if I may use that word, you can't keep flogging a person to perform without having any incentives or acknowledgements or encouragements lying ahead in front of him or her. So, if you want the person to perform, you have to first give the sense of responsibility and importance to that person. At the same time, you should also understand what are his or her aspirations, what he is working for, what has he joined the particular organization for. So once this is understood, you have to incentivize his uh, contribution to the organization. You have to acknowledge, even he might have performed below par of your expectations, but if he has given some contribution from his side, it has to be acknowledged. It need not be pampering, but that little tactful acknowledgement just to pep him up, to bring up that uh, uh, encouragement out of him, to bring the best out of him, you have to give him that. And it's a tightrope walk to balance between the achieving the goal and keeping the team happy. It's not easy. So you have to be extremely sensitive to the swinging mood of the team as well as the swinging mood of every individual in your team. Only then you will be able to achieve that balance. And that I could I answer your question, Mark?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot.
That's an interesting answer, Brigadier Dilip. Now, I will take the liberty of asking you the last question, if I may, sir. So, my question to you, sir, is that you are somebody who's led generations of young officers. So, what's your biggest expectation from Gen Z? And the second part of the question, sir, is what worries you the most about them? So, that's my question.
Okay. I mean, by answering it in either ways, I would be either antagonizing half of the people or anyways, I'll try and answer that. The first and foremost, the expectations from Gen Z or the leaders in the middle level of leadership. One, the first strength of this generation is, as I said earlier also, they are not really working for money because kind courtesy, our generation, we should take credit for that, that we have made them very well off right from the day one. Everybody is well off. They have got adequate money, they've got adequate real estate. So they're not really working for money. And when they are not working for money, it is very important for us to give them something more important than that in the right direction, in the right alignment. So we have to give them the purpose. We have to give them the name for which they should go. That is our responsibility. And what I expect of them is they should align their energies, their knowledge, their qualification, their assets towards the overall national aim of 2047, the year by which we complete 100 years of our independence. And the topmost leadership of our country has already said that by that time we should be leading the world. As of now, next 20, 25 years, we'll be going through that Amrit Kal. And this Amrit Kal, somebody could dream of this, could think of this huge dream only because we have an asset of this generation with us, because we can boast of the maximum percentage of young generation in our country. And my expectation is they should align all their energies and their knowledge towards achieving the national goal. And my worry about them is they should start living in the world around them. They should stop living in the world of mobile and handset, because every day I travel to my office place by metro. It's so disheartening to see that you enter the compartment and you look around, 99 out of 100 are looking into their mobile. And one who is not looking into their mobile is yours truly, who's looking at everybody else. It's a very sad state, and it's very frightening, you know. I mean, they are not living in the world around them. Tomorrow something goes wrong physically, they would not be able to even understand because they are in their virtual world. That is something they should come out of and start living in the world which is around them, which affects them the most.
Absolutely, sir. I think that certainly is a cause of concern. And with that, I would like to take this opportunity, Brigadier Dilip, to thank you for taking your time out and sharing your experiences and thoughts with all of us. I think the concrete mix analogy, especially, was such a simple yet a powerful way to explain teamwork and team spirit. And I would now request Isar sir to kindly say a few words of our appreciation and gratitude to Brigadier Dilip, and also thank our audiences who have taken time out of their busy schedules. I know we have leaders from diverse domains, and taking time out at 9:30 a.m. on a Saturday. We're truly honored and we're truly humbled by your presence. So Isar sir, over to you. And thank you once again, Brigadier.
Before Anita and Isar, if you permit, as I have answered many questions from you, can I take the liberty of leaving few questions to you? If you
Of
permit, I'll
course.
just share. I will share one slide with you, which will leave you
There is
with.
one very interesting question that has come up, and
Okay.
so before you answer, leave those questions, Dilip Saab. There is one question that's come up, and I thought that that's a very interesting question. I'll read it for you. It's in a chat box.
Yes.
So this is coming from Mr. Shivakumar from Michelin. Now he says, and I was also intrigued by the question because I had a similar thought when the answer was being given by you to Rupali. So the question is, in alignment with Rupali, the question is, how do you keep the contribution acknowledged at the ground level for example, in your case, the soldiers? It is mainly coming from the heaviness of the population at that level, because what his question, and I'm just trying to articulate it in the processes, in the corporate scenario, is that at the lower level, the level startup, there is a huge base, about 80%, 90% at that level. So how do you actually acknowledge that ground level contribution? That was the question.
To acknowledge the ground level contribution, it is difficult to difficult also and incorrect also to single out one person out of those 100 who have worked to push the bridge across the river, if I can take that analogy. When in the combat scenario, when we construct a bridge within 12 hours and then physically push it across the river for the tanks to cross. So when this pushing is being done, it is being done by hundreds of soldiers. So when the bridge goes and tips on the far bank and ready for the tanks to move, a great achievement. And that is the ground level of the grassroots which has worked. It is incorrect to pick one of those grass and say he or she has done a great job. So how do we acknowledge that? The acknowledgement for that particular activity, which has been achieved by the grassroots or the ground level, has to be for the entire subunit or for the entire company. In our context, how we do it, once this particular activity has been done, you make the whole company fall in and say, कमांडिंग अफसर साहब ने आप सब के लिए आज बड़ा खाना दिया है क्योंकि आप सब ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया. This is a very basic way of acknowledgement I am saying, but similar parallel could be thought of in the corporate. It has to be from the highest authority, acknowledging the good work done by them and immediately rewarding them with something which need not be very high profile or very costly, but it is the acknowledgement and the gesture that remains with the group that has worked, and they feel encouraged and acknowledged. I hope I could answer that.
Yeah, I think if I may answer on behalf of Mr. Shivkumar, that's a brilliant answer. What it actually tells is, like you talking about as a commandant, you have several units or several areas under you. You have to congratulate the unit itself. Now, what you're saying is applicable here in the corporate world. That is, you don't need to go down to the grassroots. You can actually have departments. There are so many departments in organization. The entire department is congratulated or appreciated or rewarded, and that will actually bring up the morale of the organization and the units also. Thanks a lot. That's a great answer. Thanks. I think it's a brilliant answer.
Can you see the slide which I'm sharing?
Yes.
I'm leaving those three
Sure, we
questions.
can see that.
We can see it.
Have you all? I hope you have noted this question, so I'll stop sharing it and back to Isar Bhai, all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I mean, we have. Would you want to put that screen once again so that Rupali can create? Rupali is an expert. We have one more girl called Isha. She's not there. She's an expert in clicking photographs. So can you share it once again, because those are the questions that we need to answer. That's what Brigadier Patwardhan
Sir, I
said.
already shared.
You picked up? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Anita, for working throughout the last week to get this arranged, and very well done from the perspective of a LeaderSpeak event. So for everybody else in this room, a LeaderSpeak is an event wherein probably a leader in his own right, his or her own right, engages with another leader who has created some kind of a norm for himself or herself in any kind of an environment, and we engage and we all learn. So last time, Brigadier Patwardhan, you were a participant when Jendesa was speaking. I realized that, and we had so many people. The good thing is that we have brand new faces this time. The guild members remain who are there. So that's the message, the entire thing from LeaderSpeak event. Thanks a lot. You've been a brilliant speaker. I mean, you spoke. So I don't know whether anybody in this room knows about his podcast. When you were speaking and I was mentioning to everybody, there's a podcast that Brigadier Patwardhan has done about a month and a half back, and we met there. And I was with my wife, and we met over there to a common friend called S. Hussain Zaidi, the famous author of books and so many films. He's written so many films. And there you had actually predicted something very solid. If you all can go to the podcast and see exactly whatever you predicted, has come up so true, so true, that I have been told by very people in the corporate case, this guy was precisely on what is going to happen. much before anything took place. So congratulations. So you all in this room, I would urge you all to see that podcast. And other thing is also understand where it's coming from. These thoughts that Brigadier Patwardhan you just came across are so many years of experience coming down in short things. So people have to understand, we all need to understand that your 33 years in service have come up with probably these 10 questions that people asked, and you have put that across in a very systematic manner. Thanks for that. For everybody else, the LeaderSpeak event is a continuous forum. Every Saturday we hold this. From last 3.5, 4 months, all of us underwent the certification event wherein we met every Saturday, sometimes Sunday, for about 4 hours. So next week we'll be having another leader in its own right. So when we're talking about leaders, we are not talking about the ultimate heroes. We are not talking about political leaders. We are not talking about the CEOs or the people who matter. We are not calling in Nandan Nilekani or someone bigger or greater. Everybody who's been able to lead himself or herself, lead people and lead business. The Trinity: managing self, managing people, and managing business, or leading self, leading people, and leading business, is a leader in its own right in the corporate or any other environment. So we are inviting on a regular basis leaders who would like to share and who will be interviewed by another leader. So thanks a lot. Is there anything else that anybody in this room has a thought about or a question about before I say sign off? And before we sign off, and it's also a 90-minute event, and it's a 90-minute event so far. Good one.
Sir, only one sentence. Sir, your mustache and you're still looking very handsome at this year, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, these are handsome man. One thing just intrigued me right now. I don't know whether you'll know this. So I had a lot of photographs of the school that was under his command, which is called the Army Public School in Pune, in BG. And those photographs are with me because my father was assigned after the 1971 war when he came back to do something there. So he started off this school called Balak Mandir. So I have all the photographs of that school, and I just sent it across to Brigadier Patwardhan, and you sent a letter which was brilliant. The letter you sent was not appreciating only my father's contribution, but also my mother's contribution, because in those photographs you saw my mother. That's when you told a woman behind a man is a very important component. And you acknowledged there, I think that letter came to me around 3.5, 4 years back. It remains with me, and my thing is that my son goes to the same school that was built by his or by his grandfather. So that's one of the things that I would like to appreciate. That what you have told today is about equal footing of the spouses of people behind the backs, which are not usually seen. Only the hero gets the worship, but the person behind the hero is equally important. It can be a mother, a daughter, a wife, or a daughter, or it can be otherwise. It can be a man, a father, husband, whoever it is. But you acknowledge that, and that's a great lesson for all of us over here. So when you have a Kundan Naikde, there's a lady behind Kundan, or if there is a Meena, she has somebody behind her, a father, a brother, a husband, a spouse, or a son who's equally involved in all of that. So I would like to sign off on behalf of everybody over here, and thanks a lot, Brigadier Dilip, and a great job done, Anita. Let's have a photograph. Should we have a group photograph?
Absolutely, sir. I
Group
would
photograph
request
where, because Rupali in this thing is who's a director of a company called Lovibek and also Morphosis, has clicked a lot of photographs. But if you see a photograph, the first thing that you see is in team building, you see your own photograph and say, oh my God, this is not the way I smile. So there is a saying in team building, none of us is as smart as all of us. So the photograph, when we click together, you'll not be able to only see your own self, but the entire picture. So let's all come in a group photograph, group, and make your best smiles and all. Let's have the
Please
gallery.
someone support me clicking picture, Parambai, if you can.
Can I
I
request
can click the photograph also for you all. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All of you can just comb your hair, check out your
I can do that.
You can do that. And the other thing is, my request is
You have
when
freedom,
I
sir.
I
in
can
my
curl up my
experience of
mustache, of course.
sorry, in my experience of photographing the events, I have realized that people look at their own faces. Don't do that. Look at the camera in front of you so we can have a photograph. Now I'm going to click this photograph for all of you. So smile with your, if you see, show your teeth, it's a good smile. So Anita, kindly look at the camera.
Yes, sir. I would
We
also
just-
request the others to please turn on the cameras. Gitika ma'am, if you're there, kindly turn on your camera. Param, your
Okay.
camera switched off.
So-
Sanjeev sir, Kuldeep sir.
Yeah. So
Param,
everybody just put on your cameras. Okay, Shiv Kumar, Mr. Shiv Kumar has already said no, he's not going to show it. So
Nice.
what about the
No, he's already
Deepika
there.
and Kuldeep?
He
He's
was
there?
there.
Kumar is
So
already
there,
there.
I'm
what
there.
I'm saying is, when I click the photograph, somebody else needs to click it because in my system, some of you are still blank. So just a second, let me click my. Then we can have somebody else clicking. Please
Yeah, I will
look at the
also-
camera and say, just a smile. That's it. Oh, that's my camera clicked. Now somebody else can do that for me. Whoever can do it. How about Prachi? You can click. Prachi tupe tu kar. आमचा सर्वांचा आम्ही and you tell us that you look at the camera, please.
Okay, sure. How do you exactly click on this?
Okay, forget it. Don't click. Somebody else click, please. This is not a training.
Sorry.
If you're
Too
on a
much
MacBook, you
pressure on
can,
you.
yeah, somebody else can start clicking.
I can
Yeah,
click.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the camera.
All right. I've clicked, but there are 5 people whose cameras are shut.
Yeah, so I can also see that. Okay.
Kuldeep Singh, Kuldeep.
Yeah. So what happens is if you go to the view, you will
Yeah.
see, I'll change the view and we'll have a large gallery. So in the large gallery, I can see everybody. Oh my God, everybody is there.
Yeah. Only
So in the
Kuldeep
large
Singh.
gallery, I can see everybody and I'll click everybody together. The problem with the person is clicking is he's the worst person because he has to concentrate. Okay, this one is clicked. We'll have one more view, the last view, the gallery view. Here I can see everybody. The small gallery. Okay.
Nice.
Thanks a lot. Gitika ji, you have also clicked, right?
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Uh,
I'm trying to see where it is.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. I'm sharing it in the chat so you can save this entire thing on your desktop. Okay. Here it goes from my side. Oh, who's clicked this photograph? Mr. Shivkumar has clicked this photograph with. Please click it once again, Mr. Shivkumar. Request you to click it once again. Because your photograph was probably the best.
Are you all ready?
Yeah, we are ready. You please tell us to smile, so we'll smile.
I've just taken
Please tell us to be ready.
just check. Now I posted. Is it okay? It's already done.
It's already done.
Check in the chat box.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So we all have this habit of looking at our photograph first. But
That
the
is-
message goes is none of us is as smart as all of us.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for this great day of our lives. And thanks each one of you for joining in. Thanks Gitika, Prachi, Anita for a great job here. Kundan, Sanjeev, Meenakshi, Kuldeep Singh, Mr. Shivkumar, Param, Jayanti, Vallabh. Vallabh did not introduce. Vallabh is taking care of a factory. He is taking, that's the reason he asked those questions. Rupali and everybody who's missed out. And thanks a lot, Brigadier Dilip. We'll meet up again sometime.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Thank you so
Jai
much.
Thank
Jai
you.
Hind, Jai
Thank
Hind,
you so
everyone.
much. Thank
Jai
you.
Hind.
Bye.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
You can follow our page, huh? You can follow our LinkedIn page and all. So the team, can you just wait back behind a little bit? Sanjeev,
Yes, sir.
thanks a lot, Sanjeev and all. Yeah, so Vallabh, Anita, Rupali, can we have Sanjeev ji, thanks a lot for being here. We'll just have a team meeting. Thanks. God bless you. Can you just call in Param for a moment? Vallabh, please call in Param for a moment. Sanjeev ji, we are going to have a personal meeting. Yeah. Request you to, or should I send everybody a private meeting, chat meeting thing? We close this meeting completely.
We can continue,
Yeah.
sir. I think.
Okay, sir.
He's gone. So
Sir, could you
what
please
about
join
you?
again, sir? Isa sir is
2
asking.
minutes
परम
के लिए
भाई को मैं कॉल कर रही हूँ सेम मीटिंग
I
में.
have already called you,
Yeah.
Rupali. I have
Acha,
already
we
called
have
you.
missed out on Jayanti. Jayanti can be coming in.
Hello?
Jayanti has done a good
Sir,
job by
If you
inviting.
can join again, sir. Yes. Okay, okay. Sure, sure. Okay, sir. Sure, sure.
Why
Okay,
is
sir.
Dhanashri not there? I don't think. Dhanashri, somebody asked Dhanashri to join in for a moment. Isha is
Isha
anyways
sir.
on a holiday.
Isha sir,
I
I have
got it.
checked
I
with the Param
understood.
sir.
I understood. Param said, yeah.
Ha,
So anyways, you can stop recording this, huh?
Yes. Should I ask
Param.
Kundan to join, sir?
Yeah, Kundan also, please, for a moment.
Okay.
You can
Vallabh, I have
stop
joined.
recording this, na?
Yes, I'm stopping.